Tactics podcast. Today we're going through a few more aphorisms. People that have been on the podcast, that have been on the channel, know that I'm a fucking sucker for aphorisms. I always enjoy them, I always like them. I find them particularly useful because it is also very nice to go through on a podcast. There's not that much to read, but a lot to interpret and also a lot to add. But on the other hand, it is also very, very useful to get quite good information and quite good thoughts, actually sometimes amazing thoughts by amazing people in a very short amount of time without having to read a full book, for example. But still, it is still something different than quotes, by the way. Anyway, I'll show the ones for today, which are by Napoleon. From the netaliason.com site. If you want to check them out, please check them out. And we're going to go ahead with them. Aphorisms and thoughts by Napoleon, rated 7 out of 10. He says here in this little text that it is quite good. There are a lot of quotes, not necessarily aphorisms. And period. And it's a bit short. It is rare that a great assembly is reasonable. It is too readily passionate. Every hour of time wasted during youth creates a chance for future misfortune. I mean, this might speak to some people, and I am definitely not one of those. Back in the days, maybe I think 2-3 years ago, I have been all about maximizing. I think maximizing basically what I've been doing for the podcast, trying to push out as much as I could and kind of only focusing on that. This is basically what I'm seeing right here. Every hour of time wasted during your youth creates a chance for future misfortune. Well, of course, I think we can build very great character for ourselves and also to all the parents for their children. But still, what is... Well, it really depends on what you define as time wasted or wasted time. Is it time spent with friends, which I definitely would not say? Is it something else? I believe that it really depends on how you think about it, of course. One could say all the time that you've been spent or that you've been spending drinking or doing some other dumb shit, taking drugs, of course. This might not be the best time spent, but still I think there needs to be balance, there needs to be relaxed time, there needs to be chill time, there needs to be balance, period. Going full every single second of your life is not gonna work out great in any field of life. I have felt it, I have seen that, and I am also actually quite often trying to go against that because it is definitely not making life better by any means. A great reputation is a great noise. The more you make, the more it spreads. Laws, nations, monuments, everything crumbles, but the noise remains. A great reputation is a great noise. The thing that I do not like about reputations is the thought of always having to live up to it. That you're always trying to, be this guy that maybe you once were even, but you have been trying to be, and so on and so forth, which I mean can be great and can also be useful having a good reputation. I also think that it is good to have a good reputation in regarding your view. The problem is with reputation that it is something outside. You cannot really do anything about it. You can't change your reputation that easily, I would think, because when a lot of people think you're a douchebag just doing one or two good things, I don't necessarily think that this is going to do the trick. But my point is, try not to live up to a reputation that anybody else but you yourself set out. Or thought about, whatever, you know what I mean. Man only succeed in life by governing their character or by forging one. governing his character, by the way, or forging one. I don't know. I mean, when I say his character or the character, I would actually add good character, even though what is good character? Anyway, strong spirits turn away from sensual pleasures just as seafarers avoid reefs. Sensual pleasures. This really reminds me of Stoicism, trying to, I think, not have too many pleasures. And I would actually say many other religions and also philosophies where pleasure and not seeking pleasure is definitely a big part of. If it makes sense or if it doesn't, I think it's up to you. I believe that having too much pleasure or only going for pleasure might not be the right way to go, or might not be the right way to live life and to go about things, I guess. There are other things than pleasure in life. There is other things to do than just only seeking pleasure. But I would still say that pleasure is a big part of life and also should be a part. Not a big part, but a part. The superior man is impassive. Praise him or condemn him, he always carries. Doing whatever you want to do, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody might think about you, no matter what what people are saying, just I think, and it just really makes sense since we are a group animal or a social animal and whatever. It just makes sense that we give a shit about what people think about us, even though, even if it might be somebody we don't even know quite. But I think it is a superpower to be able to really give a shit about all these thoughts, all about, all these people, all of these voices. I think it is a real superpower and definitely something to think about, definitely something, maybe a skill to train, making sure that nobody can fuck with you. It is just you in your head, and indeed also some people that you really care about. Because of course, I mean, there are people, for example, Gary Vee, he often states that his voice is the only voice that is quite in his head, and that has anything to say. He doesn't give a shit about his parents, family, and girlfriend, whatever, so on and so forth. But I don't really think that this is practical. I don't really think that this is gonna be the case. Nobody can give a shit about what his or her mother says if the relationship to the mother is okay and everything's fine. I don't really believe that this is possible or even advisable. Not giving too much weight into these thoughts, into these voices, I think is useful, can be useful, and is doable as well. But kind of just completely neglecting it, I don't think that this makes sense, because of course I just have certain things that I don't see. We all have blind spots. We all have things that we are not aware of. And by governing people around us that see those things and are able to communicate in a very great way, very useful way, what is this word? So they can actually use this advice, I think is great to maximize your potential and to maximize whatever you're trying to do and basically maximize your being, I think. You only believe that which it pleases you to believe. Yeah, this is definitely something to avoid, something, at least trying to avoid that. As I've been doing research for my computer and whatnot, I've always been thinking about this. Okay, do I really want this to be good? Am I searching for the negative parts of this product? Am I searching for what this product is not good at? Have I already done my decision? Have I already basically actually made my decision? Not done my decision, made my decision. Or am I just searching for the positives about that? It's very difficult, I think, to make sure that one is not doing that. Of course, you could say, okay, you're just searching for everything that you can see. But I believe at some point, especially when you've been working on something for quite a period of time and you've put a lot of effort into it, I would say that there is a decision, or there is one side of the spectrum that you're leaning towards a bit more and you're trying to see more facts for, might be one of those things to especially avoid in studies. And when you're reading a study, to look for, is this really everything they could have done? Is this really everything they have done? Is there some data they are neglecting to show, and so on and so forth? I guess it's very, 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 very difficult to maintain a subjective view of everything. Of course, it depends on whatever we're talking about. The majority of those who do not want to be oppressed themselves. The majority of those who do not want to be oppressed wants to be oppressed themselves. Maybe it might be like the majority of those who do not want to oppress, maybe wants to be oppressed. I don't know, I'm just leaving it like it is. But by stirring the masses, the former method is just intrigue and only generates secondary results. The latter method is the way of genius and changes the face of the world. There are only two levers to stir man: fear or self-interest. Every great revolution must act on fear. When the interests are at stake, great results do not follow. You can only do well what you do yourself. At least you can make sure that it is done well, or at least done in a way you wanted it to be done. Unless you're having very great people to work with. But yeah, anyway, this is going to be it for today. I hope I've been able to share certain things that were of value to you, and I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So, bye-bye.